Hello everyone and welcome back to Arctic Retro. So there's been a little less videos this summer than usual, and that's because I had a 4 weeks vacation which I'm recently back from now, and yeah, I also took a vacation from retro computers and all that stuff too, so haven't been doing anything about that for the last 4 or 5 weeks, which actually has been good, I think, but now I'm actually looking forward to starting up again, and this is the first video after my vacation. So it's been an incredible good summer here in the north. Actually yesterday we had 27 degrees Celsius and the sun, and that's, while it's not unusual, it's not very often, but yeah, I have really enjoyed this summer with my 2 kids and other family. We went on a driving trip through Norway, and our goal was to visit family and also visit a lot of amusement parks. Well, not a lot, but yeah, the best ones in Norway. So I drove here from Bodø down to Oslo and visited a couple of other cities on the way. So here's a couple of clips from that.
Vi bærer det til fjells.
Anyway, in this video I think I'm gonna start easy after the vacation, and it's quite hot up here in the attic right now. So I'm sweating a little bit, but that's how it is. So I'm gonna start by taking a look at this strange computer and see what it is. So this is gonna be like a test and try video, and yeah, hopefully that's going to be exciting. I haven't done that much PC related stuff, but this is in fact a PC, or yeah, PC compatible machine from the 90s. Before I continue, I just want to say thank you to my sponsor PCBWay. They do a great job at producing prototype PCBs. I have used them many times, so I really appreciate the cooperation. If you want to have produced your own PCBs, then just visit PCBWay.com and you can get an instant quote right now with 10 PCBs for as low as $5 US. Besides PCB manufacturing, they also do CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication and 3D printing. So that's all your needs for your hobby projects. Also visit their shared project site, where you can find a lot of ready-made great designs, which you can order PCBs directly from this site. So go ahead and visit PCBWay.com right now. So let's take a closer look on this machine before I go into any more details. And as you can see, it's a portable computer, a PC, and it's quite heavy. I can lift it barely with one arm. It's quite dirty as well. Yeah, and it says here, Network General Sniffer. And that is actually a specially branded Compaq, because this is in fact a Compaq portable computer, and Network General was a company that made network related software and hardware back in the day. They started in the early 80s in fact, and made network analyzers and so-called sniffer software that could analyze the packets on a network, not only one network but a lot of different types and different protocols. So this is specially made for that. I had this machine lying around for a few years. I haven't really taken a look at it at all. Only thing I did with it before was to test that it powered on, and it did, but I'm not really sure about the specs, if this is a 386 or 486. I think it's a 486. It has a keyboard that you can take off like that, and it has a built-in LCD screen. Even here it says Sniffer, and yeah, I googled a bit and I found the actual original Compaq machine. It looks exactly the same, except it says Compaq something. Yeah, and here are the dials for the contrast, and yeah, I guess the light. So I was thinking about booting this up now and see if it works, and see what we actually can do with it, what it is, and yeah, then opening it up and take a look inside, see if we find any exciting or anything that has to be done with this. So on this side, on the bottom, it has a floppy drive, and yeah, on both sides there's some lock here where you can push at the same time, and you can tilt the whole thing, but I don't see why in fact, and it's kind of stuck. So yeah, I struggle to actually tilt it, but I think you can just tilt the top part like that, so that you perhaps get better contrast on the screen. I don't know. On the back side here there's some ports, there's some blanks in front of those, but yeah, there's external PS2 keyboard and mouse, I think. Yeah, some other I/O ports, probably serial or parallel and serial. Uses regular power input, no separate power supply, so that's built in to this. There's some more panels here. I'm not really sure if you can open any of those. I don't think so. On this side, yeah, there's a lock, and yeah, luckily it's open because I don't have the key. And here's VGA output for monitor, and this is a network card. It has both coaxial and the regular RJ45, and it has some LEDs and some dip switches. I don't know what this is for. It's obviously it is to connect to the network, but yeah, this dongle, I don't know, it's loose. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that. Power switch here, and here's some kind of bracket. I don't know, maybe this is for mounting it in some kind of shelf or something. Yeah, of course it's to lock it down, to prevent it from being stolen, I guess. And in the base here it has yeah, this foot here that tilts it even more. Anything else fancy about this? No, I don't think so. This one is taped, so it's probably broken off perhaps. And under this cover there's some label, and here it actually says Compaq computer, product of the UK. But it doesn't say anything about the specs or anything like that, but it's a Series 2713. And according to this page here, I found retropack.com. It is actually the last luggable Compaq machine that was made, and it is the Compaq Portable 486, Apparently it cost $11,000, so quite expensive one. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. So here's a lot of images and information about this, and obviously other luggables as well. So here's some facts. It's came with 4 meg RAM, 120 megabyte hard disk. You could upgrade it. Yeah. So I guess then the only difference between this network General Sniffer branded one and the original is that it came with some additional hardware and software, and probably cost a lot more. I actually got this from a colleague who worked as, yeah, I think he was an IT network guy back in the day, and he used this in his job, and he had kept it and gave it to me. Yeah, and this keyboard cable looks a little bit mangled. Alright, I have connected the power. Let's power this on and see what happens. Hopefully there's no caps that gonna blow in this. Yeah, fans are spinning. Alright, it boots, counts the memory. Yeah, and it has 8 megs of RAM. However, it has a line on the computer screen. That's not right. Okay, so here it is. It has a menu here, the Sniffer Network Analyzer. So here you're gonna select what you're gonna do, if you're gonna use the analyzer or the Ethernet monitor or some other stuff. So yeah, use the internal display in color VGA mode. Okay, return to DOS. Okay, let's see what we got here. Keyboard is working, Compaq MS-DOS version 5. Interesting. But actually what I wanted to do was to enter the BIOS and take a look at what kind of CPU we have here. So let's try Control Alt Delete. Where is delete? It's there. And how do we enter the BIOS? Try to press delete, which is the most common key. No, couldn't see it. I'm gonna try a little bit off cam and see if I can enter the BIOS. No, it actually turns out this machine doesn't have a BIOS as such. To change the setup you actually need a setup floppy disk, which I don't have. So but of course it's probably possible to find one on the net. Let's see what's on the hard drive here. It's tools folder. It doesn't have Windows for sure. There wasn't any particularly interesting things in that tools folder, but here we can see it has a 200 megabyte hard drive. Alright, let's check the disk. See if it has any errors. No, it looks alright. So I found an old Checkit floppy disk. I'm gonna try and install it here. It was zipped, so I need to unzip it to the hard drive. So the contrast on this LCD is looking very good. Too bad those lines seems to have an issue. Maybe that's fixable. I might take a look at that if I open this machine. But it's not a big problem for using this machine. Okay, so what do we have here? So let's see what we have. We have a 8486AT machine, and it has a MAT coprocessor as well. 8 megs of RAM, which we already knew. So the floppy drive works, that's nice. Probably hasn't been used a lot. Let's do a memory test. Yes, everything passed. Also have some benchmarks. Let's check the main system. Speed, maximum performance level reached, okay. So this is probably an outdated version of the Check-It. Well, we get some numbers. It's rated as 84 times an original IBM PCXT. And the math speed is at 1600 times. So it's determined that it is a 486 running at 66 megahertz. Yeah, the video benchmark also goes over the limit, so yeah. But I mean, 486 at 66 megahertz, pretty fast machine in the 90s, I guess. Supposedly this machine saves the settings to an Dallas RTC chip, and as we know, those are not lasting forever, so but in fact the clock is correct. That's strange. Well, it's off by 45 minutes or something, but yeah, the date is correct. I have never set a date on this machine. That means it is still working. Running some video tests. Yeah, everything looks alright. Well, not any particularly interesting stuff on this hard drive, except for the network test software, which I'm pretty sure I will struggle to figure out how to use. And I only have Wi-Fi up here, so I don't have an Ethernet connection up here, and I don't think it's particularly interesting to start analyzing network traffic on my network. And the fans on this machine is very noisy. I'm really happy that I don't have to sit and listen to this kind of machine all day at work. It doesn't look particularly easy to open up this machine. I only saw 2 screws, but there's a lot of plastic panels. Probably needs to be, yeah, pried out some way. There's some small bits here and there that seems to be loose. Okay, yeah, look at that. That's the screws for the LCD, I guess. Shouldn't lose all these parts. So I need to find any containers to store them in. Yeah, this one came loose quite easily, and yeah, that's the keyboard cable going down there. Always something new to experience. Yeah, you just pull it out. Seems to be a regular PS2 connector. So now the keyboard is loose. I'm thinking about cleaning this machine up while I go along here. Keyboard doesn't seem too bad. It's a little bit yellowed. Just put it out in the sun. Only the keycaps are yellowed. Yeah, since you can pry out a lot of plastics parts, probably gonna be difficult to remember how to put it all back together again. So I'm not gonna bore you with the whole process of figuring out how to dismantle this machine, but I'll show you the interesting parts at least, if there's any. Yeah, there's also 2 torque screws hidden under the handle up here. Then I think it's just a matter of prying out the panels and get everything off here. Yeah, this whole thing came loose now. Yes, look at that. Oh yes, it's black and dirty inside. And here on the back, on the inside, we can see some more information. There's some information about the dip switches and yeah, warning. This is obviously the power supply module. Seems to have some tab here. We can pull it out. So just gonna remove this metal panel here and see what we come into contact with next. Luckily it seems like all those torque screws are the same size, so no need to be worried about mixing those up. So that should have freed up this panel. Yes, all right, there we go. There we have the interesting bits. Yeah, the memory modules. There's two SIM memory, 4 megs each, and there's even room for 2 more. And it says CPU board made in USA. I'm not really sure what that is. It looks like a CPU, but it says A82596SX-20 and copyright 1989. But this is an expansion card, and that's where this network dongle on the outside comes out from. And yeah, this is probably what Network General has made for this machine. Just gonna try and pull it out. So this TP transceiver module, it has some locking mechanism here. Just push that up and yeah, it came out, and now we can take out the whole board. So that's Cogent Data Technologies, and has a lot of unknown chips here and there, and yeah. And that revealed the display adapter or graphics card here. It has one flat flex going to the LCD, and then it has VGA output on the side. This is obviously the motherboard, and here is obviously the CPU with the heatsink. And that's the Dallas real-time clock and battery chip. And it's full of dust and dirt, so I'm gonna make a little bit of a cleaning session of this now. And the fan, yes, it's full of smudge. Okay, to fix that issue with the LCD screen and those lines, I think about just taking out the flat flex cable here from the adapter and try just to clean up the contact a little bit. And yeah. Maybe I'm gonna take out the whole motherboard so that we can remove this I/O part of the machine and get to take out the power supply and inspect that as well. You hear the motorcycle. I have to have the roof window up when working now, when it's so warm in here. Okay, it was not particularly easy to get that out. Clean that with a little bit of a contact cleaner. Alright, so I'm taking out the motherboard because it's very filthy and needs to be cleaned up, and also wanna check out the rest of the machine, and then I need to take it out. Yeah. So that's not the regular ISA slot. This is obviously a 60-bit slot. I'm not really sure what it's called. And then the whole motherboard is into this Razer slot here. So just need to remove a screw up there first. Yeah, that wasn't so hard. I mean, it seems to be well designed. You have some connectors here. They seem to be just side mounted. I don't know if I could just pull this straight out and see what happens. No, they're not belonging to the motherboard. They're there. That's just some protective pads, I think. I'm not really sure. Okay, the motherboard is out and I can clean it up a little bit. And now this I/O board, which is full of dust, needs to come out. It's the same kind of screws. Take out the fan connector. Small screw there as well. Now let's see, can this move? Yeah, kind of. But first, these connectors needs to come out. They go down there. Yeah, let's see how we can release those. Yeah, just regular pull. And this one, there's some tab here to lift. I guess that's for, yeah, that's it. Now let's see. It's so tight because this part here just stops against this screw hole, but I just found out I can pull the power supply right out now and then just pull the whole thing, and yeah, that was the correct way. Yeah, and the power supply. So there's a connector there, it just pushes right into that board inside there, and down there we have the floppy drive. Alright, I think that's enough with disassembling this machine. I'm not going to try and take apart this bottom part with the floppy drive inside. There's probably nothing interesting going on there anyway. Yeah, just gonna need a little bit of cleaning. I'm gonna take parts down to my garage and blow away the dust with the compressor, and then I'll be back. And now a little retro brighting. Alright, I cleaned everything. The machine now looks great, almost like brand new. I also opened up the power supply just to clean it up. It was full of dust, and now it looks great, and yeah, it looks like a great power supply module. There's a fan there, and yeah, everything looks to be in order, no problems spotted. Caps looks all alright, and I can't see anything that has been leaking, so that's good. And the keyboard is out now for a couple of days in the sun to get a little bit of bleaching, retro brighting on those yellow keys. So now I'm just gonna assemble the machine and see if it still works, and then we'll take it from there. Assembling it should now be easy, since we now know how to how the parts go together and do the reverse operations. Also had the fan out. It was quite dirty, but now it looks alright. Okay, now it's in. There's a small edge connector there as well. Finally, this sniffer cards go in, and yeah, then we should be good to test. It was a little cumbersome to get this down there because of the lock there, but see if I can manage to get it wedged in. Yeah, struggled a bit with that, but now it's in. Nice. So I'm not gonna fully assemble the machine. I'm gonna test it first to see if it still is working. Well, I powered on the machine and it powered on, but after a short while it started to smell very fishy, and first I was thinking maybe someone was preparing food, one of my neighbors. I had the window open, but then it occurred to me, fishy, that's capacitors. So I immediately turned it off, and yeah, I don't know why. Everything is plug and play with this. There's nothing wrong. You can do actually very easy. So, but still, I'm going to take out the power supply and take a look. So I'm going to power this on without connecting to the computer. Probably not supposed to do that. It probably needs some load, but yeah, just going to briefly test it. Yeah, the fan spins, and yeah, definitely smells fishy. But I can't see anything wrong, so maybe it's just I blew away all the dust and yeah, shifted on the dirt somehow. Something is smelling because of heat somewhere. I don't know. I just let it run for a while in the machine and see what happens. Unfortunately, that did not fix those lines on the LCD screen. That might probably be something with the screen itself or the controller chips on the LCD. I don't think I'm gonna investigate anything else about that right now, but at least the machine works, so it's usable. However, the screen seems a little bit worse than it was before I started this. Now I see these reflections or lines all over, and not just that one extra line. Not really sure what happened there. I tried to wiggle the LCD connector, but no change. No, definitely something gone wrong with the LCD screen. You see it doesn't show the top of the screen anymore like it did before. This is check it, and yeah. The area above this line is now not visible at all. Damn, that's not good. What could have happened here? All I did was take it apart and yeah, clean it with some compressed air. I'm going to take out the graphics card again and clean the contacts real good, and use a little bit of contact cleaner in the slot itself. Okay, I cleaned the contact and the slot for the VGA card a lot now, and still problem with the built-in screen. I connected up an external screen, and yeah, that proves that there's nothing wrong with the VGA card at least. So my next thing now is I'm gonna open up this and take a look at the actual LCD screen, see if there's anything wrong there. That was these 4 screws here on the front and 3 screws on the back. So now this can be removed, I think. Yes, okay. There we have something. We have a speaker, and yeah. There's some kind of a high voltage here, some kind of power supply, probably to the screen. I'm not really sure. Anyway, just gonna clean off the edges. It was a little bit dirty here. Actually looks like it had some moisture here. Let's see if we can get this LCD screen out. No, I don't think it was those screws. There's some other screws here. Same kind of Torx. There's a couple of connectors there. Nope, I think this is a rabbit hole I don't want to go down to. There's this shield around the whole module, and it is, yeah, it is stuck to the case. Either it's soldered or glued. If I try to rip it off, I will most definitely not get it back into place, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing I can fix or check out there. Anyway, one thing I'm gonna do is take out this other side of the flat flex cable here and clean it up. Maybe there's some connection issues there, hopefully. I had the flat cable out, cleaned the contact and the pins on the cable, and also measured conductivity between all the wires in the cable, and they're all good, so nothing wrong there. Yeah, the screen is back. Let's hope for the best, although I have my doubts. I think maybe the screen itself is gone. Okay, I have fully assembled the machine, and unfortunately it didn't get any better with the LCD screen, so yeah, that needs some more work obviously, and I don't think I'm capable of doing that, I think. Anyway, I was thinking about installing Windows on this, but I have changed my mind. I think I'm just going to leave it as is, because this is some kind of special machine, and I am thinking maybe I'm going to try and sell it. Maybe someone would be interested in it as it is, and if I start installing Windows 95, then I probably need to upgrade the DOS, and then all this menu and yeah, special kind of DOS will be removed. So I'm gonna leave it as is. Would be interesting to try some of these tools. I mean, run Ethernet monitor. Maybe I should try and hook it up. I have a cable network in the other room. Nothing. Yes, I found this 20-meter long Ethernet cable going to the other room and into the switch. Let's hook it up and see what happens. Yeah, there's activity, so it got a link there. Let's see now with the network analyzer what it says. Okay, it got a network address. So let's try capture. Yeah, actually captures data here. And if I understand it correctly, you should be able to display the captured data. No frames. Okay, cable tester. No cable fault found. No frames accepted. Alright, I couldn't get any sensible out of that software. Maybe that's something that's prevented in the router, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with advanced networking. Maybe some of you guys are. Anyway, that was it for this video. Yeah, nice little machine. Could probably be repurposed to become a regular Compaq. I actually noticed that these labels are just glued on top of the original labels. So yeah, I'll see what I'll do with it. Too bad with the LCD screen. Maybe if you guys know how to actually try and figure out what's wrong with it, then just give me hints in the comments. Alright, so hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, as always, thanks a lot for watching, and thanks a lot to all my subscribers, and special thanks to my patrons. See you, bye bye.